Good evening, everybody. My name is Ed, and welcome to my 8th Plushie review. Tonight, I will be reviewing this happy little fellow, my most recent acquisition. Although I haven't thought of any names for him, but but any suggestions are welcome. Suggestions are welcome. And right, and to start with, I know he isn't. I know he is a puppet, strictly speaking, and yes, even he knows that. Well, he knows that clearly. But without further ado, let's start with the review. And first things first is the face. Do you think the face looks that cute to you? Well, it does to me. I think anybody would fall in love with a face like that. And mind you, although not 100% Fox-esque, but there you have it. Hence the shape of the nose, for example, which is well, it looks all right, but not terribly realistic. And at least it's got whiskers on either side. So I don't think any of the other plushies I've reviewed have any. But I think it's a good way to add realism anyway. But the mouth, it looks good, but there's not really a great amount of detail in there. There's not a great amount of detail in there, but it doesn't mean. But just because there are no teeth in there, it doesn't mean he could speak like this. Well, I don't expect him to anyway. And without further ado, let's move on to the shape of the head. I can see that the shape of the head is it's not that realistic, really. It's not terribly realistic, but not. It's not terribly realistic, but I wouldn't necessarily say it was hideous. No. But without further ado, let's move on to ears. The ears, I can see that they match the whole body very, very well. The colouring is just right. So, like with real foxes, white at the front, black at the back. And let's move on to the rest of the body, namely the arms and paws. I think the only criticism there's one criticism I've got to make at least, and that is that the paws and arms are really meant to be black, not was it blood orange, something like that. And by the way, please don't assume I'm colourblind. It's just that on real foxes, their legs and paws will be black, and so there's not a great deal of realism here. And if you look at the pads on the paws, they're not that realistic either. they're just, as I've just found out, it is basic, it is just basically a circle, and the paws, sorry, what am I saying? The the claws, which I'm pointing at them with my fingertips, um, they're just triangular. They're just four little triangles, a bit like one of the other uh, puppets I've previously reviewed, but nevertheless I think it looks good. And let's move on. As we move on to the rest of the body, I can see that the chest is very well coloured, very foxy indeed, and same for the torso. Although, oh, no legs, like two of the other puppets I've reviewed previously, and the tail. Ah, yes, I love the tail. And so, again, I love the tail. Very foxy. And I think it's what a fox's tail is meant to be. And, let me think. What else can I say about him? Marks out of 10? I think I'll give him. I think I'll give him a 7. 7 out of 10. Because he isn't perfect, but he is a very good representation of a fox. And so it's good night, and God bless you all. God bless you all.